Flick's pressing style doesn't suit Araujo's defensive qualities, which are based on recovering from the back, while the coach is trying to protect him by playing Eric Garcia to facilitate ball distribution. The Spanish Football Federation contacted Bernal to see if he could play in the U-20 World Cup on September 27th. By that date, the player will already have received medical clearance from Barcelona's doctors, but the club logically refused to release him. Barcelona's management, led by Deco, is satisfied with Ferran Torres' development and is in no rush to sign a new striker next summer. They are also considering Dani Olmo as a false nine. Hansi Flick has beaten 19 of the 20 teams he has faced as a coach in La Liga. The only team he hasn't beaten is Real Betis. By hierarchy, Robert Lewandowski is the starter, but Ferran Torres will give him tough competition for the spot. The option of playing Rafinha as a playmaker behind the strikers alongside Lamine and Rashford failed, as the team created no chances until Flick changed the plan at halftime, moving Rafinha back to the wing and bringing in Olmo as playmaker, and the team returned to its most effective form. Scary stat: Ruben Amorim now has more games managed, 29, than points earned in the Premier League, 28. After scoring a brace, Kylian Mbappé was named man of the match against Real Oviedo. Real Madrid defeated Real Oviedo thanks to a brace from Kylian Mbappé and a goal for Vinicius. 6 points out of 6 for Xabi Alonso's men at the start of the Liga season. Official: Olivier Giroud has been named man of the match for his performance against Monaco. LOSC snatched victory at the end of the match thanks to the eternal Olivier Giroud. The Lille side claimed their first win of the season, beating a direct rival for Europe. Full-time, with a goal from Jonathan David, Juventus opened their season with a 2-0 win against Parma. New signing Jonathan David scored his first goal. Vlahovic doubled the lead. Kenan Yildiz provided 2 assists. Juventus therefore starts the 2025-26 season with a win. AC Milan and Sporting are close to an agreement for Conrad Harder. The Rossoneri beat Rennes to the deal and are now seeking an agreement with the player. Vinicius Jr. is really angry. He says he was going to be benched this week. Unbelievable. N'Golo Kanté, 34, has been offered to Monaco and Paris FC. The Frenchman could join a new club 1 year before the 2026 World Cup. Al Ittihad are open to letting him go. Galatasaray have offered 28 million euros for Wilfried Singo. The Principality club has not yet responded. Barcelona's comeback against Levante was historic. The team had not overturned a 2-goal deficit away from home at halftime in La Liga since 1962 against Real Betis. Fulham and Manchester United shared the points. The Red Devils still can't grab their first win of the Premier League season, a week after losing to Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes completely missed a penalty. Lorient trashed Rennes 4-0, a nightmare scenario for Habib Baizman, who were down to 9 men after just 11 minutes. No winner between Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. Everton marked their debut at their new stadium with a win. First start for Jack Grealish with Everton, 2 assists. May 18th, 2025, Iliman Ndiaye scores Everton's last goal at Goodison Park. August 24th, 2025, Iliman Ndiaye scores Everton's first goal at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Magnificent. Vinicius Jr. is the player who has provided the most assists to Kylian Mbappé since his arrival at Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappé is the player with the most league goals, 34, among all players in the top 5 leagues since last season. Salah is second with 30 goals. Dani Ceballos is reportedly close to joining Real Betis. Thibaut Courtois. Xabi Alonso asks us to press hard and recover quickly after counterattacks. We worked on this against Osasuna, and again today it's the right method. Journalist: you started with Vinicius on the bench. Does this mean rotation will be frequent? Xabi Alonso: the changes will depend on the game, the workload, and the opponent. I haven't decided yet. I'll see how the team recovers. I want every player to feel important, ready to start or to come on. That's crucial to maintain team stability. In 2012, Real Madrid saved Real Oviedo from liquidation by buying €100,000 worth of shares. The club also auctioned first-team shirts to help them. Yesterday, Oviedo's fans gave Real Madrid a very warm welcome. Another name on Real Madrid's midfield shortlist, Keys Smith. At Valdebebas, they believe this 19-year-old could be an important bet for the future, but for now, it will be hard for him to secure a starting role. That's why the transfer is currently on hold. The door isn't closed yet. Real Madrid have kept a clean sheet in their first 2 Liga games for the first time since the 2015-16 season. 2 games, 0 goals conceded. Full-time, Real Sociedad came back against Espanyol in the second half in front of the Anoeta crowd. Full-time, Villarreal and Tajan Buchanan made light work of Girona. Heating up for Christopher Nkunku, Aston Villa, Leipzig, Bayern, Galatasaray, and Leverkusen are closely monitoring the French striker. A decisive final week of the transfer window ahead. Pep Guardiola on changing the high defensive line? No, I don't think so. 4-10, 14, 16 years, I've enjoyed being aggressive. Sometimes it doesn't work. One action, one slip, Brennan Johnson's goal was a few centimeters away from being offside. Breaking. Ilkay Gundogan will leave Manchester City in the coming days as he is no longer part of Pep Guardiola's plans. Ryan Aït-Nouri is expected to be out for 2 to 3 weeks with injury. Como have rejected Tottenham's €70 million bid for Nico Paz. Real Madrid have a €10 million clause for next summer, but they informed Como they will compensate them in the future for the player. It's highly likely Nico Paz will join Real Madrid next year. Aurelien Tchouameni. We must work harder to win the ball back as quickly as possible. When we recover it fast, we can immediately move forward and attack. Rodrigo was angry after being substituted. Jude Bellingham could return earlier than expected, but Real Madrid want to remain cautious with him. Xabi Alonso. The changes? I make them based on the game and what it requires. I don't make pre-decided choices on who will come on before the match starts. What happened during Kylian Mbappe's second goal celebration? Vinicius Jr was booed and insulted by Oviedo fans. After assisting Mbappe for the second goal, he turned towards the fans and puffed out his chest. In response, those fans threw a bottle at him. The referee then told Vinicius to leave that area. Vinicius Jr argued with the referee. Carvajal's shadow looms over Trent. The Real Madrid captain has returned strongly from injury and is seriously challenging the Englishman for the starting right-back spot. The signing of Alvaro Carreras means a departure at left-back is possible. Ferland Mendy is the most likely candidate to leave. The competition for the position and his injury record make him more likely to depart than Fran Garcia. Manchester City and Tottenham are interested in Rodrigo, but neither has made a formal offer yet. Fabian Ruiz is of strong interest to Saudi Arabia, especially Al Nassr. Nothing concrete for now. The player feels good in Paris, but Saudi Arabia could try to lure him with a big salary. At 18 years and 10 days, Franco Mastantuono is the youngest player to start a Liga match for Real Madrid since 2005. Nico Paz scored a free kick and provided an assist for Como against Lazio, 2-0, yesterday. Yannick Carrasco jokingly expressed his desire to join Bayern Munich amid speculation that the club is searching for a new striker. With current German number 1 Marc-Andre ter Stegen sidelined for several months with a serious back injury, some are calling for Manuel Neuer's return to the national team. Serge Gnabry's recent performance behind the striker has somewhat eased Bayern's transfer needs. Instead of searching for a player to fill Jamal Musiala's number 10 role until his return later this year, a profile to reinforce the offensive line of Gnabry, Allis, and Diaz is now considered sufficient. Players like Jadon Sancho, Fabio Vieira, and Marco Asensio are seen as candidates. Kim Min-jae now looks set to stay at Bayern Munich after being a candidate for sale in recent weeks. Unless a huge offer comes in for the defender, for example from Saudi Arabia, in the final days of the transfer window, the Korean defender will remain at Bayern this season. Bayern Munich are open to signing a player on loan with or without a purchase option. But if it becomes a purchase obligation, Bayern would only agree if it's under their terms and guarantees the best outcome for the club. Breaking. Vitinha is appreciated by Real Madrid. In the summer of 2026, he will have a clause allowing him to leave PSG, a situation similar to Saliba and Konate. Real Madrid are closely monitoring the situation of promising Rennes center-back Jeremy Jacquet. Arsenal and Saudi Arabia are also on the case. Aston Villa are the latest to submit a €30 million offer for Marc Casado, who remains reluctant to leave Barcelona this summer. Internally, Newcastle hope Alexander Isak will return to training next week. After an impressive pre-season, Rion Gumaha has convinced Liverpool to trust him this season and not to sign Malik Fofana or Bradley Barcola. Real Madrid would be ready to sell Vinicius Jr for €150 million next summer if he does not accept a new contract.